Ooh, oh, that was fun. Oh, that was a lot of fun. That was basically a perfect game. I mean, it wasn't a perfect game, but it was basically a perfect game, right? That was everything that we thought it would be. It was everything that we would hoped it would be. It was just a full-on perfect game from the Dodgers, and there's so many great things that happened, and we will get into every single one of them. But like we do in every single game, because of after a win, we like to do the same thing every single time. Where are you watching your Dodgers just beat up on the Braves? Tell me where you're at. I want to shout out everybody, and I want everybody, every single one of you that are leaving the stadium right now, I want you outside of you're watching on Instagram, you're watching from Twitter, you're watching in any sense that you're on your phone as you're leaving Dodger Stadium. I want every single one of you to turn me off. I know this is crazy. Turn me off. Record yourself screaming, yelling, doing everything you possibly can outside, saying, and record yourself and everybody around you and say, "Let's go Dodgers! Let's go Dodgers!" That's what I want to see. I want you all to take video of that, and I want you to absolutely tag me in that, at Bergman Greg, at Bergman Greg. Tag me in it. Tag me on Facebook, or sorry, not Facebook, on Twitter. Tag me on Instagram. Tag me on whatever the hell you want to. It's all at Bergman Greg, and I want to be able to retweet every single one of you and put every single one of you back out there that is going out there. Let's go Dodgers! Game 1 victory. I love it. I got Andrew Martinez and West Covina. I got Cybernetic Slayer saying that Ryu is a beast. Dan Serro, Afton, New York. We're all over the place. Hi from Tucson, Arizona. Go Dodgers from John Smith. I got Chicago from Kevin Wiltberger. Good for you from Chicago. Sorry about the Cubs, but either way, let's go Dodgers. I got El Vic. Come on, Greg, we ain't got all night. Hey, I'm ready to go with you. What do you mean we got all night? East Lansing, Michigan. Doug Crosby. Hello from Northeast Pennsylvania. Joseph Michalchik. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Ryu pitch good. Go Dodgers. Let's go Dodgers. Yep, I'm getting a bunch of let's go Dodgers. I got, let's see what we got here. Palmdale, California from Blaze. Phoenix, Arizona. Go Dodgers. Glendale, California. JJ Pearl. Burbank. B-Bank 818. Powerlessness. I like that one. Riverside 951. Ruben 2. I got Ryu's my new profile pic, as he should. Out in Seattle from Jason Robert Murray. Downey, California. What's going on? Easy as AJD. Neighbors, Pink Eggs, you got a neighbor with somebody. Bakersfield, California. You guys are everywhere, and you're all big Dodger fans, and we just watched a hell of a game. That was quite a lot of fun. All right, so let's do this. I know you got a Pomona and Santa Maria and South LA in the house. Hello from the IE, Frank Calderon, Emilio Rivera, Ruben Moreno, Steve Lewis in the 909 Chino. Kershaw is going to dominate tomorrow from Ryan Mazer, and I love everything about all of you guys, every single one of you. And remember, go out there and tell everybody, let's go Dodgers. All right. Keep shouting out all your names. Shay, where you're from, I'll try and get to some of them, but I want to get into the actual game itself because, man, that was a fun game. If you can please put up my topics, and I'll be happy to get into everything that is going to happen. I'm assuming that my microphone is on because I'm not the one pressing the buttons today, so when I don't press the buttons, the microphone turns on, so that's always a good thing. But we have to start off. It all begins and ends with Hyun-Jin Ryu, or Hyun-Jin Ryu, or Hyun-Jin Ryu, or however you want to say it. But Hyun-Jin Ryu, was fantastic. He was an absolute monster in Game 1. He went 7 innings, no runs, 4 hits, 8 Ks. Just fantastic. You know, now I think it's somewhere around 18 or 19, somewhere between 18 and 20 innings at Dodger Stadium without a run scored. That is what you're getting from Hyun-Jin Ryu, and he was unbelievable tonight. Just looks great from start to finish. He was right around 15 pitches every single inning. He went over 100 pitches for the first time in I don't know how long, and he just was fantastic. And he got a hit because he's a monster, and he gets hits whenever he feels like it seems like. That first shot that he had was a fly ball deep to left field, and I thought that, whoa, this got a chance to go. But he was really, really, really good. So, love seeing that. And then you had the power. You get that leadoff jock pop, Anytime you get that leadoff jock pop, you feel like this is going to be a good game. And when Max Muncy comes up, he hits a 3-run jack. You get another one later from Kike Hernandez, who, by the way, Kike Hernandez, you gotta be kidding me with this guy. This dude is 100% at this point an everyday player. You have Justin Turner, Manny Machado playing every single day, and Kike Hernandez. He is a 100% every single day guy, and that was never to be expected at any point. And the fact that we're here in October and he's an everyday player, and he really, really feels like he's going to be a huge, huge series and huge October. It really feels like that's the type of thing that's going to happen from him. And it's great. Really happy to see that. And then obviously you get another run in to make it 6-0. But anyway, you just saw exactly what they need to do against a team like the Braves, who were good, they had 90 wins, great team, but they had never been in this position before. They are still a year too early. They're supposed to be much, much better next year, and this year you can see that they're just not ready. They're just not ready for the postseason, and hopefully this holds over through Kershaw, through Buehler, and it's just a nice, easy sweep because this team seems really, really hot. But you can tell they have aggressiveness. They were the #1 overall team, as we all probably saw on the MLB Network, the MLB Network stream, that you could see that they were the #1 team in all of baseball swinging at first pitch strikes. So what did Ryu do? He gave him off-speed pitches on those first strikes, and that's why they were off balance, which you could really tell. It was interesting because you could really, really tell from the very first at-bat for Ronald Acuna Jr. He came up and he popped out in that very first at-bat, and he was angry, and he was hitting the bat on the ground, and you could tell that it was already in his head. He ended up going 0 for 4 in that game because he just wasn't ready. And if we've been on the DN post game for a little while, you'll see that we were talking about it. We were talking about it last night and after they made the playoffs on Monday, that if Acuna can't get it done, if Acuna is not ready, then this team is all going to start falling apart behind him. And if he's not going to be that guy, that they need him at the top of the lineup hitting solo shots in the beginning of the game, that really hurts their offense because he is what makes that team go. So it's been a great job from him, and I loved it. There's good with bad, right? So there's so much good things that happened. There was also a little bit of bad, and we have to address the elephant in the room, and that was Manny Machado. He came up and had a chance to bring in a couple runs. He had second and third with Turner and Turner on third and Muncy on second, and he had a great shot to get a hit to bring those guys home with one out and do something about, or I think he was actually first and second in that situation. He had a chance to bring them in or just get a hit and just make it so that he had a good outing today. Instead, he struck out. I think that was his third strikeout of the game, and the other one was a ground out double play. So at the plate, Manny Machado looked terrible, and that's a really bad sign for him. He had that chance. You had that 5-0 lead. You had 2 men on, 1 out, and you had a chance to just get bat on ball and move guys at least over or bring one in, whatever he could possibly do there, and it just didn't happen. So I'm a little disappointed in that. He even booted a ball at shortstop, which seems so rare. But then later on in the game, he made an amazing, amazing defensive play in the outfield grass that he got Charlie Culberson at first base to Max Muncy with a beautiful stretch. That was an incredible play by both of them. So you can see that his defense is always going to be solid, even though he booted one. But at the plate, Manny needs to figure it out. This was a guy, when he went up against Foltynewicz, he struck out twice against Foltynewicz, and he was 4 for 6 coming into this game. Yes, those calls were a lot of bad calls, but you can get that a lot. And it seemed like the low strike was being called early, and then it kind of laid off of the low strike a little bit later on, and he started the home plate ump kind of brought his strike zone up, which is weird. You got to either stay with giving the low strike or not, or don't give it at all. So that's the problem with umpires. They're changing everything at every time. So that's it. That's what I got for this game, and I got plenty of other thoughts, but I want to be able to get to all of you because this is why you're here. You're here for me to talk to you and get all your questions and comments and everything out there so that we can have a conversation instead of waiting on hold. you know, because nobody likes waiting on hold. I don't like waiting on hold. You shouldn't either. All right, so let's start over here on Facebook. I got Robert Petro. Manny is a nice fill-in for Corey Seager. I mean, look, if he doesn't have a big series, if he doesn't have a big postseason, he may be just that, just be a nice fill-in for just holding that place for Corey Seager next year. Because if he's not going to be good in the playoffs, and he wasn't really all that great since coming over to Dodger Stadium in the regular season, then I don't really want it. Then maybe he's not the right choice. Jose Gonzalez, give Manny a break. He'll be back on the offense tomorrow. No need for negativity. Let's cheer on our team. It's not negativity, Jose Gonzalez. It's actually a lot. Can you change the topics for me, please? Thank you. It's not so much about negativity. It's more about the fact that we have to actually say what happened in that game. I got high hopes for Manny Machado. Today was not the time for him, and he did not come through. And actually, if you look at the 4, 5, and 6. 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters for the Dodgers. Machado 0 for 4. Grandal 0 for 4, who had 2 home runs against Fultonevich coming into today. Bellinger 0 for 3 with a walk. And then you had Puig he was 0 for 3 also with a walk, and he ended up getting scoring a run later on after that walk. But that's your 4, 5, 6, 7 hitters all going 0 for. Good thing that Peterson had that leadoff home run. Justin Turner got on base with 2 walks and a double. Max Muncy had that huge home run, which is a 3-run home run. Plus, he had 3 walks. So that's a huge thing from Muncy, too. And Kike Hernandez obviously had a big hit, and that was in your 8th spot. So a lot of really good things there. It's not so much about negativity as it is just telling it like it is, because that's what you come here for, the truth. If Manny doesn't have a big series, his values drops. Absolutely. It's one game for Manny. Give him a break. Yeah, I am giving. I'm just telling you like it is. Duvel, what are you expectations for Kershaw game? Duvel, it's a great question. I actually think that he has a lot less stress coming onto him into the second game, and it's also a big situation where he can now still pitch on Game 5, although the way that Ryu pitched, I know I'm all for Clayton Kershaw in 2 and 5, but the way that Ryu pitched and him coming in, if you need a Game 5, Ryu at home Game 5 with the way that he's been pitching, it's going to be hard to take the ball away from him. He's been that good. It really depends on what you see from Clayton Kershaw tomorrow, and I think he's going to have a really big game. If he watches what Ryu did, which he is a student of the game, and he is looking for. He's not looking for that power. He's looking for location, and this is now that time. So you're not going to see a lot of first-pitch strikes, or you're not going to see a lot of first-pitch fastballs. You're going to see some more off-speed pitches in there. He's going to try and get his slider going tomorrow, because with the slider, if it's working, so is he, and you're going to see a lot of movement on his pitches early, and he's going to use the fastball, which is like a 91-mile-per-hour fastball. The fastball as a strike 2 pitch or an out pitch when they're not expecting it. So I think that I'm actually expecting a big game from Kershaw tomorrow. This is a type of game that Kershaw thrives in. It's early in the postseason. I could see him going 6, 7 innings, no run ball. So I'm going to give you a guess. I'm going to give you a guess of 6 innings, no run ball, and 7 strikeouts. But he will have about 5 or 6 hits. So they're going to get on base. But I think that he's going to strike out a lot of guys, and he's going to get out of jams, and he's going to make it through 6 innings. Let's check it out on the ESPN LA Periscope. ESPN LA Periscope. Manny seems too anxious. Shane K. Lee. Max was awesome. 3 walks and a big 3-run balk. Jock in the playoff mode. Jock, by the way, 4 of his last 7 games he's hit a home run. He is legitimately Jocktober. It's fantastic, and we need to start using that hashtag more often. Hashtag Jocktober. All right, do you think Manny is trying too hard? No, I don't think he's trying too hard. I just think that he is a guy that he got kind of screwed on a couple pitches early on in the game where he thought we're outside or they were low, which they were. They were low and they were outside, and he was getting called for strike 3 when he was trying to just be patient at the plate, which you're happy to see. It was just too bad that he got called out on those. So he could have had a couple better at-bats, but the home plate ump was kind of all over the place early. But that could be, say, anywhere. Let's see. SK and Bond. With our star power numbers, the Braves look too intimidated. They, you know what, and you understand why they look intimidated. They've never been in this situation. They showed it. They absolutely showed it over and over again. Thank you for the hashtag Jocktober all over the place, by the way. I like that. You can see Charlie Culberson was with the Dodgers the last 2 years. Didn't play a ton, but he got some time, especially after when Corey Seager was injured. He has 14 games in the postseason. That leads the entire Braves team. Everybody. That's Freddie Freeman. That's Ender Inciarte. That's was it Nick Markakis? That's everybody. That's their entire roster does not have a lot of postseason experience, and the Dodgers do. They were in Game 7 of the World Series last year, and basically everybody on that team has seen it. Max Muncy is his first time, and he had a big 3-run jack. So you're going to see a lot more. Our 1, 2, 3 spots the same tomorrow. Jock, Turner, Max. See, this is interesting. So Ben, and this is Ben Shelton Films. Ben, hey, you were on Mason Island one time. What's up, man? Here's the thing. I assume that tomorrow you're going to see the same thing. The Braves all have righties, and if you go by what Andrew Friedman and Farhan Zaidi like to do, and I guess you could say Dave Roberts, what they like to do is that they like to have the lefty versus the righty matchup, and a lot of that is Max Muncy in the 3 spot and Cody Bellinger in the 5 spot, and Grandal and Yasiel Puig, because he's better, because he has reverse splits, and you see him more versus righties than you do versus lefties. So you would assume that it would be the exact same lineup tomorrow, but you still got guys on your bench like Chris Taylor, who's been hot, and David Freese, who's been hot, who he drove in a run, although David Freese didn't get a hit. He still drove in a run to make it 6-0 in the 9th. So you got him. Matt Kemp is got a guy that you probably want to see at some point. Brian Dozier's still on this roster. There's still a lot of guys that you would expect to see that are righties, but because the Braves all have right-handed pitching, you're going to see that lefty lineup a lot more often, and maybe in every single game. You know what? I think if you look at what they did during the regular season, it's going to be the same lineup all 3 games. And I don't know when it's going to change, but for the most part, you're going to see the same. And now that Newcomb just pitched, I know he gets a day off, but Newcomb pitched a couple innings. He may be able to come in for a couple innings again, but he's not going to come in to start. That's for sure. Most likely. All right, so let's check out Facebook. If we sweep the Braves, who pitched NLCS Game 1, Hill or Kirsch? If we sweep the Braves, everybody will be on full rest. And that's from That Crazy Geo. Everybody will be on full rest, so you have your choice. And what it seems like, especially with Ryu pitching today, it could very well see Ryu in Game 1 of the NLCS, although you would expect Kershaw there. But because Ryu's, otherwise you're going to have this nice long rest before he comes back. I don't know if you want to give him that much time, or if you want to give Kershaw that much time, or maybe if Buehler pitches well, depending on when the Brewers series ends, Brewers and Rockies, that one maybe it's gonna be interesting. It all is going to depend on if they're swept, what everybody else. I'm assuming you would go Kershaw in that Game 1, but I don't know with the way that, especially since it's on the road, I would assume you go Kershaw in that spot. Let's see. Let's go over to Periscope for Dodgers Nation, because you guys are here and you guys are strong. You guys are strong. Laker PZ agreed. Let's see. He struggled today. Nothing to worry about. He'll bounce back tomorrow. I'm assuming we're talking about Manny there. What's the potential lineup tomorrow? We just went over that, Janet, but it's going to be probably, I would assume it's going to be the exact same that you saw yesterday. I love the Jocktober, hashtag Jocktobers. That's what I like. Keep going. Keep making that happen, because he has been that guy. 4 home runs in his last 7 games in the playoffs. Absolutely that guy now. Loving all these great comments from fired up fans. Yes, Grabo, absolutely. Why wouldn't you be fired up? This is the exact time to be fired up. You were up 1-0 against the Braves. Let's go. Who do we rooting for? Brewer rocks. That's so tough, Laker PZ. You've seen the Brewers not the Brewers. You've seen the Rockies so much. I kind of feel like you got to root for the Rockies in that situation, although you don't like seeing Kenley go to that situation. I would, however, I think that they have the best chance against the Rockies in that situation, more so than the Brewers. I think they can still beat the Brewers, but the Brewers are really good. Did you see what Kristen Yelich did today? He hit another home run, and he scored the game-winning run in the 10th inning, because that's what Christian Yelich does. Because of course he does. That's who he is. It's absolutely insane, but Christian Yelich is that good, and he worries me. And I think that their bullpen is really strong. Although Jeffress did give up 2 runs in the top of the 9th today, so maybe some of these guys getting into the postseason changes your mindset. Let's see. D-Full USA. Urias is not on the roster. He can dress with the team and work out, but can't play. Yes, he is on what they call the taxi squad. If somebody gets hurt, they can bring somebody in. It just depends on if it's a pitcher or a hitter. And in that sense, most likely, Urias is not going to be the guy. I don't think he's going to be the guy. They would have put him on here if they thought that. You don't want to see Yelich. Most skill? Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to see Yelich. Machado was pressing. It's possible. It's absolutely possible that he was pressing. I don't think that was the case, but I think that he was pressing a little. I think that he just got screwed over a couple times early in the game, and he felt it, and he never was able to find it back again. Kofefi Coffee saw Jansen work out. Glad he didn't come out. Come in, he gave up 2 points again. He'd give up, well, no, in save situations, we talk about it a lot. Save situations, he would have been fine. And if you would have given up if Flora would have given up a couple runs there, or Wood gave up a couple runs, and he came in, it would have been a save situation, and he would have pitched just fine. He would have gotten out of that. I think Wood would have gotten out of that too, but it was safer to go with the ground ball pitcher in Floro in that situation, especially against the righty. So they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and it worked out perfectly. It was a ground ball to first base, and game over. Cybernetic Slayer, I think the Rockies win that game if they got out of that final inning. Yeah, it's very possible. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen there. They played well. They took them all the way to the 10th inning, came back in the top of the 9th. That's a powerful lineup too, and they kind of held them down. Sensatella pitched really well for them, which was kind of shocking. I got my first troll that I can actually see. This is from Glenny0830. The Dodgers will not win the World Series, and this is coming from a Dodger fan. Apparently, maybe you are a Dodger fan, but I don't know why you have that negative thought to you, because they've done nothing but win over the last couple weeks. They were ending the season, I think they were somewhere around 14-3 over their last 17 games, something like that. And then they won. They swept the Giants. They beat the Rockies in game 163. Now they just beat a 90-win team in Atlanta, and you'll see what we get tomorrow. But I think that Kershaw is going to have a huge, huge game tomorrow. I'm all about Kershaw, and I think he's gonna be really good. I think that, and this is the biggest thing, Ryu pitched today, and he pitched fantastic. That had absolutely nothing to do with the skill set of Clayton Kershaw. What it did was it made each guy on 5 days rest. Kershaw could have pitched. He would have been on 4 days rest, but that would have given Ryu on 6 days rest. So why not have both guys go on 5 days rest, give Kershaw that one extra day, and he'd still be available for a possible game 5 if for some reason Ryu had a bad outing. But Ryu had a fantastic outing, and that 1-0 lead in this series is big, and it's going to get into the mindset of the Braves. So you're probably not going to see the same Braves team that you were seeing for most of the year that had things like, that 190 games. But they also, remember, the Braves lost 2 of 3 down the stretch to the Phillies. The team that all of you guys, when you're on here talking to me all the time, we're talking about how the Phillies just rolled over for the Rockies and it was no big deal. They took 2 of 3 from the same Braves team. And look what Ryu did to this team. Ronald Acuna Jr., 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts. Johan Camargo, 0 for 4. Freddie Freeman got a hit really early in the game and then went 0 for 3 after that. Nick Markakis got a lucky hit down the in the top of the 9th there, so you weren't expecting that, but he still got a hit. Tyler Flowers was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts coming into the top of the 9th. He got another hit, and that's when you saw Alex Wood leave the game. Then you had Ozzie Albies was again a hit late in the game. It wasn't even the guy that wanted. He wasn't playing well, and he's been playing really bad down the stretch. Ender Inciarte, who had been pretty hot coming in this game, 1 for 3. Mike Fultonevich obviously got struck out 0 for 1, and that's basically your team. Kurt Suzuki ended up going 0 for 1, and he had that big, it was just a little pop-up, huge play with the bases loaded. And then you got another guy, Luke Adams, who also, he struck out in that 9 spot. So, it was a big, big game from Ryu and this bullpen. The bullpen looked really good again. I know that. Here's the thing, and let's go to the bullpen for just 1 second. I think it's really important that we talk about Caleb Ferguson. Caleb Ferguson, I said 21, but he's actually 22. Caleb Ferguson came into this game. Yes, he had a 5-0 lead. Yes, it was the 8th inning, but he still had to face the 8-9-1 hitters, and that one hitter is Ronald Acuna Jr. He struck him out. 22 years old, and came in with that 5-0 lead and just blew 2 of the 3 guys away. That was what you expect. I know he came in, he was a little bit shaky at first, went 3-2 early, then on the first batter, then 3-2 against Adams, and then he struck out Adams, and he struck out Acuna Jr. That's big time play from a 22-year-old in that situation. I don't care that you have the 5-run lead and it's the 8th inning. It's still the 8th inning, and he came in and he threw fire. He looked so good. I have so much trust in Caleb Ferguson, and it looked like that was a great spot to give a guy who is young that first taste of the postseason, and that's what they gave him, and it looked really, really good. So very, very happy with what I saw from Caleb Ferguson tonight. Very, very impressive. All right. Should we worry about Kershaw from FUSD school? No. Let's see. I know he had a bad outing on Saturday, but he's still Kershaw. He's not the 95-mile-per-hour flamethrower anymore, but he is the 91 mile per hour location pitcher that's going to hit the corners. He can hit wherever he wants. He's going to be fine tomorrow. I have a lot of faith. I really believe that Kershaw is going to be strong tomorrow. Facebook has Facebook Live too. Peacemaker 5241. Yes, I'm on Facebook Live right now on @DodgersNation, or just facebook.com/Dodgers Nation. I don't know if you know this, but I'm actually on 6 different platforms right now. I'm talking to you on the Dodgers Nation Periscope. I'm talking to Facebook on the Dodgers Nation Facebook. I'm on the ESPN LA Periscope. I'm on Instagram Live at official Dodgers Nation. I am on YouTube for Dodgers Nation TV. I guess it's youtube.com/Dodgers Nation TV. And I'm at twitch.com/Dodgers Nation TV. That's 6 different platforms. So you can see this everywhere you want to go. Go look wherever you'd like. Happy to do it. Let's see. I know I saw something about Hill. Do you think Caleb will be starting next year? I think it's Stay Hungry too. I think that's really possible. I know that he came in. There was a time, and on ESPN LA, what's his name? Steve Mason was at a poker tournament. Looked over, was sitting next to Yasmani Grandal. Asked him about Caleb Ferguson, and he said that guy's got some stuff. He is going to be a great, great pitcher. And can you imagine next year you have Kershaw, Ryu, Hill, maybe Kershaw, Ryu, Hill, Buehler, of course. Urias is probably going to be in that starting rotation. Maeda probably want to get back in that starting rotation. Caleb Ferguson is going to really push for a starting rotation spot. And you still have other guys like Stripling that want to be. That's a lot. That is a lot of guys that you can bounce around to and really pick and choose who you want to be in your starting rotation. You can move a couple of those guys. So, and you can get a lot of pieces for some of those. Like, you can get some really good pieces for some of those guys. But I think Ferguson's going to be a great starter. Buehler is already an incredible starter. Kershaw's going to be fine. And I think Ryu has just been fantastic. Let's see. Crenshaw Street should make like Crenshaw with a K. I like that. I like that. Clubs Dodgers. I like that. That was really good. You should be a big fan of Kershaw, because I'm a big fan of Kershaw, and we should all be big fans. He's going to be great tomorrow. Absolutely. Matthew Schenk on Facebook. Re-sign Ryu. Thoughts? Yes, you have to. Here's the thing. With Ryu, I think that you can probably get him at a pretty good price. He's been really injured over the last 3-4 years at this point. I don't think he's actually had a meaningful start since 2014, somewhere around there. So I really think that Ryu is he's not going to cost very much. He's been fantastic at Dodger Stadium. I think he's given up no runs in his last 20 innings at Dodger Stadium, and he's looked really, really good. He's only he's given up 3 runs twice. 2 times this entire year. Twice. Once was in like May or March or April or somewhere around there, and then the other time was, I think, in September or August. So that was it. That was the only time he gave up 3 runs. Everything else below 3 runs. He has been fantastic, and he showed you what he has today. And he's got a bat too. He went 3 for 3 in a game a couple games ago. So there's a lot of good things from Ryu. Yes, 100%. I think you re-sign Ryu. Let's see. Gooey for K. I don't know if I should say that one, but I'm going to anyway. Kershaw coughed up a 4-0 lead in the World Series. What are you talking about? I'm talking about this is a totally different situation. This is not Game 5 of the World Series. This is Game 2 of a series where you're already up 1-0 in the NLDS, where he has been really good. Yes, he did not look good in that game. Yes, he did not look good on Saturday against the Giants, where he gave up a 2-0 lead and a 5-3 lead. But now I really, really believe that he's going to be good tomorrow. This is where he thrives. This is where he pitches well in early games in the postseason. I trust him. I hope you guys do too. I can understand why you don't, but I absolutely trust Kershaw for everything that he's done for this team, and I think that he's going to be fantastic tomorrow. And I think Walker Buehler on Sunday is going to be really, really good too. Anibal Sanchez, he's been good over the last month, but I just don't think he's that guy that goes long. Jerome Jerry Allward, I'd like to see Kershaw go 7 solid innings with a few runs, take him out for rest. If he can go 7 solid innings, that's great. Anytime your pitcher can get you into the 7th inning in today's day and age of baseball, that's fantastic. So yes, 7 innings would be great. Who's on the taxi squad? Hashtag Jocktober. I think we should end everything with hashtag Jocktober or hashtag Mad Max or whatever. Anything Dodgers related, we should do it. On the taxi squad, I'm not exactly sure who's on it, but I know basically everybody that was off of the roster, you would assume is pretty much there. Utley and Verdugo. I think Castro can be in there. Tolles possibly. Farmer for possibly. I think that you're also going to see Venditti's probably on that. Ross Cup is probably on that. Fields probably. Maybe Singrani, but probably not. I mean, I think you get 5 guys on that taxi squad, so I think they'll be fine. And hopefully nobody gets hurt, so we don't have to see any of them anyway. Let's see. Let's go over to the ESPN LA Periscope, see what you guys have got going on. That was a great decision to bring in Ferguson in a not stressful inning. Absolutely. Neuro Allens, and we got right into that just a little bit ago because he's 22 years old. He's never sniffed the postseason. You give him a spot where it's the bottom of the order in the 8th inning with a 5-0 lead and just let him be himself. He gets 2 strikeouts. And one of them was against Acuna Jr. So that's a huge confidence booster for him. Very, very happy with that outing from Caleb Ferguson. E-Town Blitzball. Everyone that thinks Kershaw will do amazing type 1. Or is that a 1 finger? The finger with the 1? So everybody, if you think he's going to do amazing tomorrow, type with the finger with the 1. If I had that, I would do that. I don't have it. Oh, I look at all this. Adel Del Toro. Hashtag Jocktober with a whole bunch of hashtag Jocktobers. I really like it. You have any friends at AM 830? I know people there. I don't know a lot of people over there. I mean, I know some people there, but I don't know. I don't have friends. I have a lot of friends at a lot of different stations. I have a lot of friends at 570. I have a lot of friends at Fox Sports Radio, the national version of it. I know a lot of people there. I was there for years and years. I know people at the Fox lot. I know people at CBS. I know people at NBC. Look, I've been in radio for 16 years. At that point, you meet and you know a lot of people. And that's just how this game works, is you know people. And so at AM 830, not too many of them, but there's a lot. I mean, NFL Network, I know people. You guys know Marcus Grant? I worked with Marcus Grant at Sporting News Radio, and now he's a big-time fantasy football guy. At that time, me and him were both writing fantasy baseball little blurbs, like 1-sentence blurbs of who we thought were going to be great at Sporting News Radio back in 2010. 2009, 2010. We were both doing that, and now look where Marcus Grant is. He's at NFL Network, just absolutely killing it. And I'm here talking to you guys on 6 different platforms and working at ESPN LA. So I think we both did very, very well for ourselves. Let's see. Let's go back to the Periscope for Dodgers Nation. Look at all these ones. Look at all these ones. I'm seeing just a row full of ones. This is from Aaron Devandry. I'm seeing Kick It with Kush, Garcia 849er, Isaac the Hipster, 88-Bit J, Kid Sunster, Mad Cali Hood, Stay Hungry Too. All these guys give me the 1 finger. Look at a whole bunch of ones. That's for what is this? Instagram. Got one Nanacita. One this one that's the wrong one, Gio. J9 Mama's got a big one going up. Look at all this. Everybody that wanted that one, and I know that you guys started it, E-Town Blitzball, but everyone's doing it now. You're getting a ton of them, and that's what I like to see. Lisbeth Sanchez, Jose Gonzalez showing up the one finger. I like it. Keep it going. See these people on Matthew Shank with the one. Everybody is just trusts. I got a 1 from Cybernetic Slayer, 1 from Manuel Hernandez. I missed the majority of the game due to acting class. Wow, Manuel Hernandez, you need to figure that out. But at least I have gotten updates. Glad that I'm able to get much of the last part of the game. We won anyways. There you go. Be there tomorrow, 6:30, Manuel. Kofefi Coffee gave me a 1. Look, so there you go. I'm glad to see that a lot of you, Devin Ramstein, Carlos Cardenas, Adrian Alvarez, Deanne Young, these are all different names. These are not just repeating names over and over again. Getting a lot of people that want to see Kershaw tomorrow and really believe that he's going to be great. And then, of course, I'm going to get the random people like I Need Mine who put up the 2 because they don't believe in him. I believe in Kershaw, and it looks like a lot of you believe in Kershaw too. Looks like CMMR DDL believes in him. Luis Miguel Arevalo believes. Jose Quiroz believes. Look at that. Checking in from British Columbia. Loving my boys in blue. And he's got the 1 finger up. Brian Hatfield's all praying for it. Oh, see, this is great. And this is what we're seeing. A lot of happiness and a lot of really good things. All right, so let's move on to another question. You can keep throwing up the ones. Love seeing all of them. But let's see what else you guys got for me. Accounting. Oh, sorry. Manuel Hernandez. Accounting class. Well, you know, you got to make a living, right? But you got to understand, it's Dodgers or accounting class. Everybody tell Manuel Hernandez on YouTube. Should he be at accounting class, or should he be watching Game 2 with all of us? And I know we talked about this on Monday about whether I should go to the game or not, but I think it's better if I'm going to go sit in the press box and I'm going to not be able to cheer. I'm going to have to sit there. Oh, Max Muncy, 3-run home run. Okay, yeah. Good for you, Max. That's great to see. I'm going to furiously type away on Twitter. Oh, what a big shot from Max Muncy. But I can't actually show any emotion. But instead, I can be at home and I can sit there and go, oh, Max Muncy, what a shot, huge, and things like that. Oh, that's exactly what I want to be able to do. I mean, I know I could leave the press box and go stand in the crowd, but I don't like standing. I like being able to sit. So there's a lot, and I like to be able to come on here right after the game and talk to all of you, because you guys all want to get out your happiness or your sadness, whatever it is, and I'm happy to be there for you guys. Let's see. I'm going tomorrow. Let's go, Anthony, my boy. Anthony, my boy, I'm going to tell you just like I've been telling everybody at the beginning. I want you to start a Let's Go Dodgers chant, and I want you to record it, and you can put it up on Twitter, you can put it up on Instagram, wherever you want to do that, but tag me in it. Get us Let's Go Dodgers chant going. If you're going to the game, if you're not going to the game, I don't care if you're walking down the street in downtown LA, or if you're all the way out in Calabasas, or if you're in West LA in Venice. I don't care where you are, Long Beach, British Columbia, wherever you are, get a Let's Go Dodgers chant, make it a video, tag me in it. I want to see every single one of them. I want to see a bunch of people just getting these big Let's Go Dodger chants going from all over the country, all over the world, and all over LA. So please make that happen and make sure you tag me in it so I can just share in all that joy with you. At Bergman Greg on Twitter and at Bergman Greg on Instagram. All right, Manuel Hernandez, don't worry. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays that I have accounting class. I will definitely be watching Game 2. Why? It's Kershaw Day. Yes, I know Mason wants to say that Kershaw Day is canceled. I am fully on board with Kershaw Day tomorrow, and I'm happy to hashtag that tomorrow. Hashtag Kershaw Day tomorrow. Let's make it happen. Rangel Hernandez, what's up? Hey, what's your YouTube channel? My YouTube channel is at Dodgers Nation TV. Dodgers Nation TV on YouTube. You can hit it up there. Yep, Puig swung at ball forward, leaving runners on base. Tina G-Man, I know you're responding to Olivia, but here it is. Olivia Silva, I love to watch these big homers from the boys, but we did leave a lot of runners in scoring position. Would love to see some more small ball tomorrow. Yes, they did have a little bit about that, but you're just not going to see a lot of small ball. You can't just all of a sudden change into small ball. It's really not how it happens. So Unfortunately, you're probably not going to see a lot of bunting. Like I know Gregory S. Kring wants bunting with runners in scoring position, but it's analytics says that a bunt is a waste of an out. You're essentially it's an out almost every single time, and you're wasting an out. And analytics says waste 0 outs. That's also why they say swing at a 3-0 pitch, because most of the time a 3-0 pitch is going to be your best pitch to hit. Now, obviously, it all depends on situation, but a 3-0 pitch I don't really like. I think a lot of times you should take that pitch, especially with runners on base. But so you're not going to see a lot of bunting. You're not going to see a lot of small ball. Although a guy like Cody Bellinger had been somebody that was shortening up his swing with 2 outs, and it's been kind of tough, 2 strikes, and he kind of didn't play very well tonight. Hopefully a lot of ground ball outs to first base. I don't know if he's pressing again or if he's just hurting himself. I don't know what it is, but he will be just fine. Jose Gonzalez, Reyna, haters going to hate. Yep, haters are going to hate. Home run ball wins, Drew Simpson. Yes, but as long it's better when you get those home runs with men on base like Max Muncy did. A 3-run home run is a lot better than that solo home run. So you want to get runs in with. Also, if you have runners on base and no outs or 1 out, you're talking about how if you get a single or a double and you just keep moving guys around and they're constantly moving around the bases, that hurts a pitcher where they're like, I just can't get anything to land. It's just those long innings. A home run, while they're great and they put up a lot of runs, it kind of stops the momentum sometimes. Sometimes not, but a lot of times it stops that momentum. And so I almost rather see a bunch of hits in a row, doubles, singles, triples that are just constantly moving the bases around, and then a big home run after you've already brought in a bunch of runs. I mean, I'm not ever going to be upset with a home run, but if you can get those consistent hits back to back to back, that's when it starts getting into the pitcher's head and they can't get going. Greg, what would be your bullpen rotation for this playoffs right now? I would like to see, if you need 1 out, and it's a lefty up, I would like to see that 1 out be Alexander in like the 6th, 7th inning. If it's a righty, I'd like to see Floro for that 1 or 2 outs, depending on who's up. Then I would like to see in the 7th, if you need a longer inning, Ferguson in that 7th, Maeda in the 8th, and Kenley in the 9th. That is my rotation. If I have to see Madsen, I hope it's with a big lead. Or if they're down for some reason. If I have to see who else is on that roster. If I have to see Baez, I hope it's with a big lead, even though he looked really good, but you didn't see him in today's game. So I think I like the bullpen. I know Baez is in there, and I know I've been very, very hard on Baez. I still don't trust him. In the postseason, and until he proves me wrong, I'm not going to trust him. But if he does, I'm all about it. See, Chris DM hacked Madden Mobile. Wow, that's a whole big long thing. Why is Chase Utley not in the playoffs? Because he's 40 years old and he hasn't gotten a hit since June. I think it was June 29th, something like that was the lake time he got a hit. And there's just too many guys in front of him that are better. I know Dozier made that roster over him, and he should. Go Lake Show tonight. I didn't get to watch the game. I watched little highlights here and there. I've been trying to watch every what was that game? Preseason games, but I missed it tonight. The Dodgers to me were way more important. A playoff game with the Dodgers was way, way more important. Let's see. Go back over to Facebook. See what you got here. I got Ryu was a beast. It was in beast mode tonight from Deborah Doherty. Absolutely, he was. Drew Simpson plus working deep counts has been their deep power against the pitchers. That's a huge thing, and it's been something that we've been talking about all year long, was that last year they were a team that took a lot of pitches, saw a lot of walks. I think they had a ton of walks in the game today. I think it was somewhere around like 7 or 8 walks tonight. It was a lot of walks, and if you get 7 or 8 walks, you should be winning that game because you've gotten deep into the pitch count against the starting pitcher, and you're making the bullpen work as well. And this Atlanta bullpen, getting into the Atlanta bullpen in the 3rd inning, that's huge. That's absolutely gigantic because they have a really bad bullpen, and the more you have to use them, and the more you see them, and the more you understand what types of pitches they throw, you're going to hit them. And that's a huge thing to see Foltynewicz, who was their ace, absolutely their ace. They were he was the guy that was supposed to keep them going, and he was out 2 innings, boom, done. Couldn't get it done. See you later, Foltynewicz. Let's see. On Instagram, Machado needs to stay in LA. That's from Enrique165. It's going to cost a lot. And if he costs that much, I don't know if he has what he needs to be that guy. It's possible, though. Man Reyes 29. I bought MLB Network just so I can watch the game. And tomorrow it's on Fox FS1. No regrets, go Dodgers. Hey, if you want to know the best way to get the Dodgers tomorrow and you don't want to get the Fox Sports Go app, which is not very fun, or you don't have Fox Sports 1, or you don't want to pay for cable, or whatever it is, this is probably not the right thing to say, but hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at BergmanGreg. I will help you out. I'm not going to say it out loud. Most of you probably know it, but I'm happy to help you out if I need to. Gregory S. Kring, Greg, if we have a runner on first with no outs, why not sack bunt the runner over to put a runner in scoring position? Because, Gregory, it depends on who is up to bat, and that's a big deal. So because when you bunt, you're taking the bat out of that player's hands, and that means that it's not going to be a single, it's not going to be a double, it's not going to be a home run. Most of these guys are home run hitters. So who would you like to bunt over? I could see Peterson. If it's Peterson up, maybe, yeah, you can bunt him over. Are you going to have Justin Turner bunt? I'm not going to do that. Max Muncy, I'm not going to have him bunt in that situation. Machado, I'm not going to have Machado do that in that situation. Grandal, nope, not that guy either. Bellinger, maybe, but no, probably not. Puig, no, I'm not seeing. He's fast, and so is Bellinger, but I don't think he's going to be the guy that you're going to have bunt over. Kike's hitting the ball like crazy. He's hitting everything. Home runs, doubles, triples. He's getting a hit almost every time up, it feels like. So no, I'm not taking the ball out of his hands, the bat out of his hands either. So it sounds great in theory to bunt the guy over from first. If it's the pitcher, absolutely. But if it's one of the regular regular guys, I'm not having any of them do it. And who else would it be? I now have my list. But Kemp, I'm not going to have Kemp bunt. He's not fast enough anyway. No Kemp. I'm not going to have Dozier bunt. Maybe Dozier bunt. Maybe I could be okay with that. I'm not having Freeze bunt, that's for sure. No thank you. Taylor, I could see bunting in that situation, but you really don't want to take the bat too much out of his hand either, even though he's been striking out a ton. So, yeah, there's not really anybody that on this roster that I feel like is the right guy to have bunt over. So you're taking a bat out of the ball, and as analytics say, and we talk about it a lot, analytics says that's a loss of an out that you don't need to do. Yes, you may strike out, or you may hit a home run. There's basically three different outcomes, right? Or two different outcomes. Out, or I guess there's three. Reach on error, out, or a hit. So two of those threes are positive. If you bunt, you're basically saying it's an out. You're leading right into that one negative part of the three different ways of getting on base. So, or the three different outcomes that could possibly happen. So it just doesn't make sense, and that's why you don't see a lot of bunting going on. J. Ciamodor, I have a huge hunch we have our closer of the future, Ferguson. Kenley is probably the closer for a very long time. Ferguson is supposed to be more of a what's it called? More of a starter. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be a rotation piece. He is 22 years old. He actually started games this year earlier in the year when they needed guys to start. And so this is now a time when so next year is a time where he could fight for that rotation spot. And he could make it because he was in the rotation when they needed him. I know he's looking good in the bullpen, but if he can look this good for a longer period of time and get through 6 innings like that, you want him in the rotation. So he has the stuff to be great, and he's like Walker Buehler, not afraid of the moment. And actually, JC says he has the stuff, and I think he is not scared. You're right. He does have the stuff, and he is not afraid. He's throwing balls right past guys. Past Ronald Acuna Jr., who's used to hitting 99, 100. It was only 96, 97, somewhere around there, but he still swung right through it because he wasn't able to hit it. And that's a huge thing to have. A strike-em-out guy, the guy that can swing and miss strikeout pitcher, you want him in that rotation if you can get him there. But right now, this year where it's most important, you want him in the bullpen, and you want him right there on that 7th inning. So in a close game, very, very high on Caleb Ferguson. Brian Hatfield, haven't talked to you much today. You might get a hit by pitch during a bunt attempt if you lean into one. Yeah, I mean, if you're Chase Utley or Tim LaCastro, then yeah, you might be that guy. But for the most part, it's basically an out. There's possibilities you could get bunt hits if you do it perfect, but for the most part, you're usually out on a bunt, especially a sack bunt like that. Let's see. Dodgers Dune 11:30. Ryu was awesome tonight. Ryu was absolutely fantastic tonight, and if needed in that game 5, he may have pushed himself into that spot. B Drivens. This is a Steve Lyons take. I'm not sure what the take was, but do the Braves win a game? Laker PZ. You know what? I thought that the Dodgers would win in 4. I'm still going to stick to that just because I don't want to go away from my original thought. But I can really see the sweep now. They just look like they outmatched the Braves in every asset of the game. Defensively, offensively, pitching, bullpen. They just look like they're just so much better than this Braves team. The Braves could easily steal a game here or there. But because they are a good team, but they're just too young, they're just too early, and they just aren't battle tested like the Dodgers are. Caleb is blocked by the depth at starting pitching that they have already. Yes, Aaron Devandry, he is, but if you're pitching the best, you're making it into that rotation. If Rich Hill isn't pitching the best, he's not going to be in the rotation. If Ryu or Maeda or Stripling or Urias or Buehler and Kershaw are stuck, but besides that, the rest of it is going to be who's pitching the best. I think Ryu's basically lobbied himself. He's going to be either 1, 2, 3 next year. You have a whole bunch of guys, and I know a lot of you, Kershaw's still your number 1. I know that it's all about Buehler and Ryu right now. Kershaw's still your number 1. He can get that 95-mile-an-hour back, but I don't think it's going to happen. But if he's like Greg Maddux, and he's just finding location, and he's getting guys out at 90, 89 miles an hour, I'm totally fine with that. You're going 7 innings with swing and miss strikeouts through 7 innings and 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. I'm good with that. I think that's great. Let's see. Mike Nigetti. We need to score 5 to 6 runs every game. That Roberts will not lose the game for us. I don't think Roberts does it. You got to give Roberts credit when Roberts gets the credit due, because he did exactly what he was supposed to tonight. He made all the right decisions tonight, and so you can't get down on Roberts. And if you want to give that to Roberts at all, otherwise Farhan Zaidi and Andrew Friedman made those decisions, which I believe, and even in that sense, they did. What are the stats against Sanchez? I haven't looked it up. I meant to do that tomorrow. You know what? And while we're doing this, I can actually do this really quickly while we're sitting here, and I can get you those exact stats really fast. Since I think I can actually do this now. Anibal Sanchez versus Dodgers. I know I don't normally do this because I like looking at your stuff. Batter first pitching stats. All right. Anibal Sanchez versus the Dodgers. Cody Bellinger is 1 for 5, batting 200. He has 2 strikeouts in that time. Brian Dozier is 11 for 40, so seeing Sanchez a ton. Brian Dozier is 11 for 40 with 2 doubles, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 4 walks to 8 Ks. He's batting 275 and has an 891 OPS against him. That could be that you may see Brian Dozier tomorrow because of those stats alone. David Freese, 5 of 14 with 2 doubles, 2 RBIs, 1 walk to 2 strikeouts. He's batting 357 with a 900 OPS, 400 on base. David Freese hits him pretty well too, but he's not in that lefty lineup, so not sure what they're going to do there. Yasmani Grandal, 1 for 4 with a walk and 2 strikeouts, batting 250 with a 650. OPS, very small sample size. Rich Hill is not pitching, so it doesn't matter. Matt Kemp, 1 for 10, 2 walks, 4 Ks. You're not going to see him. Manny Machado, another guy. Oh, man, Manny Machado absolutely beats up on Anibal Sanchez. Manny Machado is 7 of 15 with a double, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, 2 walks to 4 Ks. Oh, sorry. 1 walk to 3 Ks, batting .467 with a 500 on-base percentage, a 1.133 slugging. He has a 1.633 OPS against Anibal Sanchez. Manny Machado is going to have a game tomorrow. This is very, very good for Kershaw. This is great for the Dodgers. Machado absolutely kills Anibal Sanchez. Only 3 strikeouts and 15 at-bats. Totally fine with that. Oh, and that's actually more because he has the 1 walk, too. Max Muncy, 1 for 4 with a home run. 1 home run, 2 walks, 0 strikeouts. Got a 1,500 OPS against them. Jock Peterson, 1 for 5 with a double with 1 strikeout. Yasiel Puig, 1 for 2. Chris Taylor, 1 for 6 with an RBI, 2 strikeouts. Justin Taylor, 2 for 5. Justin Turner, 2 for 5 with an RBI, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. .400 batting average, 971. This looks really, really good for the Dodgers. This looks great for the Dodgers going forward. Going tomorrow with Kershaw, you have guys. Most guys hit Anibal Sanchez really, really well. Look, Brian Dozier is batting 275. David Freese 357. Manny Machado 467. Muncie's 250. Puig's 500. Justin Turner's 400. I mean, they have a lot of guys that can see him. They have 4 guys with over 1,000 OPS, although one of those guys is Rich Hill, and he's not pitching tomorrow. So looking very, very good for the Dodgers against Anibal Sanchez tomorrow. Machado is trying too hard, trying to hit it out of the park. Well, if tomorrow is the guy that's going to get it done. Sanchez pitched 6.1 and gave up 5 runs earlier in the season against the Dodgers. Thank you for that, CMRDL. I didn't get to look up exactly that right now. That's usually my day before the game time thoughts. But I did get you the stats, Dodgers against Sanchez. A lot of good ones there. Kershaw versus Sanchez and Buehler versus Tehran. Aaron Devandre, it's not Tehran. It's supposed to actually, I mean, maybe it is Tehran, but it's supposed to be Kevin Gausman, who's another righty. So it's very, I want to think, multi-platform Greg winning it live. What's up, Manny Baseballs? Yaz gets on my nerves. He's zero clutch in his jeans. Yaz has been really good. He actually has a couple walk-off home runs this year. I think 1 or 2. So when he's hot, he's hot. And right now he's hot. He just didn't look good today. Grandal and Taylor had good games against Sanchez that day. Yeah, so you're gonna see a lot of those guys probably. And maybe, I don't know if they're gonna go with the righties against the righty, but for the most part, you're gonna see probably a lot of the lefties in there. I don't think they're gonna go. I think they're gonna stick with what worked. I could see Bellinger sitting tomorrow. I don't think it's gonna happen. You might see Taylor. Dozier could get that start at second, but he's another righty. He's seen him 40 times. He only has 11 hits in those 40 at bats, but he's still seen him 40 times, so he knows what he's seeing. He's got a couple home runs. I think you might see some of those guys tomorrow. Let's see, where am I at here? All right, I am in just about my 2-minute warning. We know what the 2-minute warning means. The 2-minute warning means that one question from each platform. And before I get to that, I just want to let you know that I will be live tweeting tomorrow from the ESPN LA Twitter account. I'm going to be live tweeting from there, and I'll be with you guys after the game, just like I always am. So here we go. One last question, 2-minute warning coming from Facebook first. Let's start there. Brian Hatfield, you're getting the last one. Greg, how many of those at-bats for Machado against him were in Baltimore, though? I don't know that exact number. It's probably pretty high. He does hit better in Baltimore. That's a teeny tiny park. It obviously wasn't here in Dodger Stadium, and it's very much harder to hit at Dodger Stadium, but the fact of the matter is when you see a guy, you see a guy. When you have an idea of what they throw and what they are able to, where they like their location, Anibal Sanchez has been around for a good amount of time now, so I think I'm okay with what you're seeing from Machado. It doesn't matter where it was. He can see Sanchez, and that's why that's more important. ESPN Los Angeles, Periscope, what do you got for me? I got keeping this lineup. Keep this lineup throughout the NLDS. You ain't down. Most likely, that's probably what you're going to see. You're most likely going to see this lineup because it is against the righty, and that's how it works. You ain't down is also how many innings does Kershaw go tomorrow? I think Kershaw goes... I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to be crazy optimistic because these guys are going to go so... They're very aggressive, and I think that Kershaw can hold them off. I think he goes 7 innings strong. I'm going to say 7 innings. I said it was 0, but I'm going to say 7 innings, one run. 7 innings, 1 run, and it's going to be a solo home run, and I'm going to give that solo home run to Ender Inciarte because he doesn't like giving up to the big boys. He likes giving it to some of the others. So I'm going to say Ender Inciarte hits a home run, and the Dodgers win tomorrow 5-1. That's my guess. 7 innings tomorrow. So that's good for you guys. All right, Dodgers Nation, Periscope. Let's see what you got for me today. Let's see. If Dodgers Rockies advance, does Kenley travel to Colorado? Yes, Manny Baseballs. He said that he's going to. He said he will be there. Who wins the division series MVP? I don't know yet. As of right now, it's either Ryu or Max Muncy. I don't know who it is just yet, but it could be anybody. Barnes or Grandal for Kersh. Man, Janet's day off. I actually really like Barnes in that situation, but I think it's going to be Grandal. Grandal is going to be the guy, especially against a righty. It's a left. He's better from the left side, so it's going to most likely be Grandal. And Grandal has completely started games over Barnes a lot over the last couple weeks. It's going to be Grandal. In my opinion, not always correct, apparently. Alpha Barn, any concerns or red flags you see tonight? The only red flag that I saw tonight was, maybe it's Cody Bellinger. I think Cody Bellinger maybe was trying too hard, and I think Manny Machado was trying just a little bit too hard too. You could see that Bellinger, the first 2 pitches, he was swinging for the fences every time. He tried to shorten up a little bit like he does with 2 strikes, and he was just grounding the ball to first base. He wasn't getting anything behind it, so that might have been a little bit of a red flag. I don't think I saw too many of them though, because for the most part he was fantastic. So nothing. I'm not gonna. That would be. I'm gonna go away from the Machado, and I'm gonna go with Bellinger and say that Bellinger was a little bit of my red flag today. That he didn't get enough done. On Instagram for the last one, no, I haven't. Sadly, score predictions for tomorrow. I gave you my score prediction. I say 5-1 Dodgers. Hill or Bueller, I don't know. So Dodgers in 3. West Coast Yinzer, I have it at 4. I think it's going to stay 4, but the more I see it, I just think the Dodgers are better than the Braves in so many different different aspects of the game that I think it is going to be a sweep. But I'm sticking with my 4. I'm hoping for that sweep. All right, guys, I got just under 30 seconds left. That's it for me. You can always hit me up on Twitter and on Instagram at BergmanGreg, at BergmanGreg. I'm going to be back with you guys tomorrow for all of this. Every single bit of it. I'm going to be always here with you guys after the game to do this hour-long post-game with you, and I will be broadcasting live on ESPN LA's Twitter. I'll be live tweeting the game itself. So hit me up on there. I'm going to answer questions on there just as much as I answer here. Thank you guys very much. That's a 1-0 Dodgers lead. And remember, let's get a Let's Go Dodgers chant with people. Record it. Tag me in it. I want to see it. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Let's go Dodgers. I'm out. See ya.